and good afternoon. My name is Ella from the Consumer and Investor Office at the Securities Commission Malaysia. Welcome to Digital Literacy for Seniors program. Today's webinar is on Equity Crowdfunding 101. On behalf of the SC, I wish to report our appreciation to higher seniors for their assistance in promoting this program. We are pleased to have with us today Ms. Karen Puah from Fundnel Technologies Sdn Bhd to present on the topic Equity Crowdfunding 101. Allow me to share a brief background on Karen. Newly elected as the first female president of the FinTech Association of Malaysia in April, Karen Puah is a trailblazer in the country's FinTech industry. Her skill set and background aptly complement her focus on building the national platform to support and push Malaysia to be the leading hub for FinTech innovation and investment in the region. Karen has had over 20 years of experience in the advertising, FMCG, and finance industries, which has shaped her unique regional experience and perspective in marketing, as well as giving her edge in providing technological and innovation insights that have anchored in extensive FinTech network. She holds an MBA in entrepreneurship from Asia University and a diploma in Islamic finance from the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, London. Now, please stay tuned till the end of the session as we will have a short Q&A session. This will be followed by a pop quiz session for all participants. Also, a reminder to all participants to take to take part in the survey that will be shared in the chat window. Next. Please do follow us on our social media platform for useful information on investing and latest update on our initiatives. Now, I will pass over to Karen to share her presentation titled Equity Crowdfunding 101. Over to you, Karen.
Thank you, Ella. Okay. Can everybody hear me and see me? If you have access to the chat box, can you please type in 111 if you can hear me and see me? All right, great. Thank you so much. Okay, before I begin to share the slides that my team has prepared for this presentation, I want to share a little bit about myself, my background, and also a little bit about how you can get more information on equity crowdfunding and the companies that are registered and in Securities Commission. Okay, so okay, so a little bit about me. As Ella has mentioned, my name is Karen. I'm the president of the FinTech Association. So FinTech Association is recognized by Bank Negara, and we work with FinTech companies that are either in the payment landscape, in digital banking, also recognized market operator like us in SC. And as you can see, I'm showing here the map of the FinTech companies in Malaysia to date. So you will see they are from payments, remittance, some are from PropTech, and of course, one that everyone is familiar with, which is the e-wallet. And then if you are familiar with using e-wallet, there will be a function where if you want to transact or transfer money to your friends and family, you need to do eKYC. So I'm going to talk about eKYC again shortly. I just want you to maybe familiarize yourself the function of eKYC and why it is so important. Okay, so where can you find us? So you will see in the video that is prepared by the team over at SC, and it's really interactive and entertaining videos, right? But educating at the same time is how do you need and why do you need to go to SC's website to check whether the companies that you are going to invest or the people that you're dealing with are recognized and registered by SC. And that is really important because the functions of the regulators, be it SC or Bank Negara, it is to protect the interests of the consumers, people like you and I. Okay, so you can see under the registered market operator, we have equity crowdfunding platforms. And at the moment, there are 10 companies under this category. And this is a hint to prepare you for your pop quiz afterwards, okay? And you can see that Fundnel is listed here under Fundnel Technologies Sdn Bhd, okay? And then now we will proceed with my presentation. Okay, it's loading. All right. So Equity Crowdfunding 101. I'm sure you can already roughly guess from the title Equity Crowdfunding. The word crowd means that companies are raising funds from the public. And then equity means that the investment that you put into the company will give you a certain percentage, ownership, so to speak, of the company. So about Fundnel, we started in Malaysia in 2019 actually, but this company is originally from Singapore, started in 2016. So our core purpose is actually very simple. It is to enable efficient distribution of capital. And when that happens, so meaning the money that you have put in to invest in smaller startups, it helps the startup to create economic growth and also give and create jobs to the people around the city or the country, right? So we have won a few awards. I think the most recent one would be FinTech of the Year 2021 by the Digital Asset Awards. So before I go on, I just want to clarify maybe that you want to know what is the meaning of FinTech. It is actually a combination of two words, meaning financial for fin and technology for tech, okay? So at the moment, we are, our HQ is in Singapore, and then we have an office in Malaysia. Our operation in Malaysia started in 2019. And then we also have an office in Indonesia, and we have our technology and data team situated in India. So we are licensed with 3 countries. One in Singapore is with MAS, or the Monetary Authority of Singapore. And then in Malaysia is under the Securities Commission of Malaysia. And in Indonesia is OJK, or Otoritas Jasa Keuangan. Okay, so far, we launched in Malaysia in 2019. We get our license, so to speak. Actually, SC don't really give out license like how you will get your driving license, but we did get the registered market operator registration with SC, and this allow us to run the platform. And these are the companies, the more notable ones that has successfully raised on our platform. Okay, so Etis Venture is a Sharia-based equity crowdfunding company as well. Morgan Field, I'm sure a lot of us have eaten there before. Ecosys is an ecosystem builder for retail and F&B tech. And then Cap Bay is another P2P company. It's also under the category of fintech. Union Roastery is F&B. They are actually number 3 after Starbucks and Coffee Bean. Lideronomics is EdTech. And then you have another F&B. So as you can see, we fundraise for all types of businesses. Whether it's a retail, brick and mortar, or even technology company. So to date, we have supported 17 companies, and we have raised more than 30 million for them. So a little bit of background of our co-founders, aka my bosses. Kelvin, Kylene, and Benjamin, all 3 of them comes from very notable investment banking company like JW Marriott, JP Morgan, you know. And then Victor is our Chief Product Officer. He oversees how we progress and make technology even better for investors like yourself. Alan and Chris is our partner in Malaysia. And then I have my team, which is Nicholas and Sophia. And then this is me, okay? So what is ECF? It's a short form for equity crowdfunding. And then how can one invest? So ECF allows SMEs, like small and medium-sized enterprise and startup, to raise funds from a pool of investors in exchange for shares in their company. So there are three categories of investors. You have the retail investor, okay, hint, pop quiz, angel investors, and sophisticated investors. So most of us falls under retail investors because maybe like myself, we don't have that much money, but we do want to see how I can support the SME, because by you supporting the SME, you are supporting the economy of the society around you. Okay, so for retail investors, the maximum amount that you can invest per company is 5,000 ringgit. Okay, but over the course of 12 months, you can invest up to 50,000 ringgit. Some companies don't ask for an investment of 5,000. Some can go as low as 50 ringgit or 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. So it depends on the strategy of the startup. And then if you're an angel investor, you can invest maximum 500,000 within 12 months, and there is no limit in per company. So for one company that you like, you can straight away invest 100,000. And interestingly, talking about angel investor, you can check out Malaysian Angel Investor Network. It is an association specifically for angel investors. For short form, they call it MBAN. If you are a registered angel investor in MBAN, you can get tax rebate from your investments. I think you can ask us later if you want email or the website link to MBAN. And then the last one is sophisticated investor. There is no restriction. Sophisticated investor, as the name suggests, knows what they are getting themselves into, and they know what is their risk management, what is their appetite, etc., etc. Okay, so in Malaysia, ECF enables investors, meaning people like yourself, to diversify your investment beyond traditional asset classes. So the traditional asset classes, meaning your FD and unit trust, you know. So what else can you do with your money, right? Okay. So why equity crowdfunding? Why would you want to invest in equity crowdfunding? It is to actually help startups, like I mentioned, companies that you see has got potential. I'll just give you a very simple example. It's like if you invest in Amazon or Grab 10 years, 15 years ago, they are so cheap, right? You will be a walking millionaire, you know, if you kept on to their stocks till today. So that is why equity crowdfunding lets you look at startups that is listed on our platform, and then you see that, okay, I like the business, I like the leaders that runs the business, and I want to put in some money and help them grow the business bigger. And then who knows, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road, and when they exit, and then you will have a big reward after. Right. So diversifying your investment portfolio, like I mentioned earlier, and then also join like-minded community, because we always run webinars like this. We also have roadshow where we bring issuers that is interested to talk to you about sharing their business plan and their dreams. And then you will be mingling with other fellow investors, and then you can have a discussion to see whether these issuers are good enough for you to invest or not. And then, of course, ultimately is to own a stake in the companies that you believe in. And it is really good, especially for Chinese New Year and Hari Raya, when you have gatherings with your family, you know, don't talk about the latest Netflix that you've watched, right? Talk about the latest companies that you have invested. Wouldn't that conversation be more interesting, right? Okay. So how do you then invest with the best? Okay, so you support the highest quality private deals. So in our survey conducted within our investor network, 50% of the investors said Fundnel as an ECF platform, we push out the highest quality of investment opportunities in Malaysia. And that's the reason why my team is here today. They will also be able to answer some of your questions, like how tedious and detailed. We go deep down to check the quality of the companies that come on our platform. We go through the process like very stringent due diligence. And the reason is because we have a responsibility to take care of your investment. We want to make sure that the issuers that is listed on our platform are legit. The founders know what they're doing. They have a robust business plan, right? And then that they are going on to the right trajectory. And then also you can build to meet your investment need. Like I said, some tickets are as low as 2,000. There are other platforms that are raising money for social enterprise costs. For example, raising money to send the rural area children to school. I remember there's a campaign that accepts as low as 50 ringgit. Okay, and then we make it easy for the investors to access and invest in a diverse selection. Okay, so if you come to our website, you will be able to see what are the issuers there. Some of them are in F&B. We have one that is in agri-tech, in the agar-wood. And then also there is one on venture capital. There is a VC fund that is raising a micro fund at the moment. Actually, we are having a personal, a roadshow, a physical roadshow at 3 o'clock today at Bukit Damansara. I'll let my team share the details with you in the chat group. And if you're around the area and you want to see us in person to, touch and feel to see if we are real. And then also after 2 years of lockdown, I'm sure everybody would welcome to see some smiling faces and, maybe not handshaking, but, fist bumping. Please do come and join us. And then the other one is, of course, you will be able to invest with the peace of mind because we are verified and registered with Securities Commission. Okay. So some of the success stories that I want to share with you so that you can link to when people talk to you about ECF, right? CapBay is a peer-to-peer financing platform. They are also regulated by SC. But theirs is a debt instrument. Okay, so for example, if a company receives a big invoice and they need money to buy the goods, buy raw material, then they can go to CapBay and ask for a 100,000 loan payable back in 18 months, and then people who back them, it is also based on a crowd support, then they will be able to get back their capital and dividend over 18 months. So the company is founded in 2016. So you see, after 3 years, they say, okay, we need money to expand our company. They came on to Fundnel, and then we did a roadshow for them, and then they managed to raise 2,700,000 ringgit. Okay. And then the other company is Morgan's Field, which is the restaurant. I think a lot of us have been there. They are quite big. It's in the F&B industry. So they're founded in 2011. And as you can see, in 2020, they decide to raise some money to expand because it was quite, I don't know, fortunate or unfortunate, but they did it during the MCO period. But thank God the Fundnel Investors Network are very tech savvy. They are able to adapt to the online modes of engagement. That's where we do the roadshow. If you register on our platform, it is free. You register, put in your email address, and then whenever we have a roadshow, we will inform you via email, and then you can sign up and then watch how the issuers pitch and what are they talking about. And if you're keen in the business and you want to support them, then you can invest, which I'll walk you through the process shortly. And then another company is Ecosys. Ecosys is an F&B and retail tech solution provider, also headquartered in Malaysia. So as you can see, all the companies that wants to fundraise on Fundnel Malaysia must be registered in Malaysia, but not necessarily owned by Malaysia. So you can have foreigners in Malaysia, but registered and started their business in Malaysia, can also come on Fundnel platform to do fundraising. And then their ECF campaign was last year, and they managed to raise 3 million. But the chairman of this company is very, very hardworking. I think he went on a roadshow that is organized by us. And then he also organized his own roadshow. He hired a marketing company to help him to manage the roadshow. So he managed to get 90 investors participating in the equity crowdfunding campaign. So that is quite an amazing feat, right? Okay, so what is the investment guide for investors like yourself? Okay, so remember I mentioned you can go to our website and register and start an account for free. You don't have to put anything to register with us. And then you will be able to view live campaign and then to discover what are the issuers that is listed on our platform. And then you can go into the folder and look at their pitch deck, look at their business plan. They will talk about who are the management, their advisors. You can also look into their accounts when you are registered with us, okay? And then after that, we will organize roadshow where you will be able to meet the team of the issuers. And usually it will be the CEO or the founder that will talk you through what is their business plan, what are they planning, what are their dreams, and how you can be part of their dreams. And if the timing is not right, but you really have the interest to invest in them, we can arrange for other meetings where you can meet the team, okay? And then, so you are happy, you want to invest, you want to help out these youngsters to soar, right, and grow, then you will indicate your investment interest in the ECF campaign, okay? When you do that, we will ask you to submit the KYC documents. Remember in the beginning when I told you about how when you use an e-wallet and you want to transfer money to your friends or families, the e-wallet will ask you to do an extra step to do an eKYC. This is the time when you will take picture of your MyCard front and back, and then they will ask you to look at the phone, turn your head around just to make sure that you are you. Okay, so that is KYC or know your customer. And you have to submit that through our platform because we want to, SC will check to make sure that the investors are allowed to invest. Okay, because sometimes we do get investors that is from countries that are under sanction list, for example, like we cannot take investment from North Korea in that sense. So that's why this is necessary. And then after that, once you have passed the KYC, we will send you an email to say that, yes, you have passed the eKYC. This is the company that you indicated that you want to invest in. Please follow this link and transfer the money. So where do you transfer the money to, right? You don't transfer to my account, nor to my company's account. You actually transfer it to Fundnel's trustee account. So all legitimate companies that's registered in SC cannot take money directly because it would be seen as deposit taking, right? So you have to go through a trustee. If you come across anyone that say you transfer to my account first and then I'll open the account and help you transfer, you just give them 3 words lah, say no thank you, okay? And then of course, once the campaign is closed, and then we will send you an agreement to endorse that yes, you are interested and you are part of the shareholder in this new investment, and then your name will be listed with SSM. Okay, but there are still 1 or 2 steps inside here that is more relevant to the investors, to the issuers, I mean. So me talking to you as an interested investor, and if you are also an interested issuer, please do let us know, and we will go through the steps with you and see how you can list your company on our platform to raise money. Okay, and then after that, you complete your investment. So the issuers will then share with you periodic shareholder updates and what they have done, how is the company growing. And this is the time when you will be able to connect to the founders or the CEOs directly. Okay, so if you want, you can take down the website. It's called my.funnel.com. Okay, so I think I showed you the list earlier at the FC 360 website, who are actually the recognized market operator for equity crowdfunding in Malaysia. So you have Whanau, you have Lead Capital, Eureka. Eureka is available here and also in Middle East. MyStarter, iPivot, funded by me, Crowdo, Ataplus, Pitch-in, and Atis. And for those of you who wants a truly Sharia deals only, you can approach Atis. But for issuers who wants to have a Sharia compliant agreement, you can also reach out to us. We can arrange that, not an issue at all. Okay, so let's go through some of the what are the investment scams that you need to be worried about. So investing in startups is memang risky because these are either a very young company or they have ideas that are not tested out in the market yet. So for example, 20 years ago, if you tell people that you want to do, if you want to sell nasi lemak via Shopee, people won't believe you and they will laugh, right? But then 20 years later, look at what is happening today. We order everything via an e-commerce platform. So investing in startups in the early stage when they have either not proven themselves or the ideas is not tested yet, it has got its risk. So you need to carry out your own due diligence before committing to a deal. Okay, and then you must ensure that the ECF platform that you are going to invest is registered with Securities Commission. So here are the companies again, in case you want to refresh your memory. And then if you come across offers that are too good to be true, it's most definitely too good to be true. Okay, and you can always email us if you need to check a certain detail, like, you know, hey, Karen, is this legit or not? Can I trust this? You know, then we'll be able to help you. And then you also don't want to associate yourself with unlicensed activities. Okay, and then if anything that you felt really uncomfortable, of course, what you do most is like immediately report to Securities Commission. They are there for a reason, and that is to protect our interests. Okay. Okay, that's all I have to share for today. Again, our website is my.funnel.com. I'll be hearing your questions if you have any, and I'll pass the floor back to Ila. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen, for that very informative presentation. Okay, let me just quickly check on the questions. Okay, so we do have some questions. Okay, the first question we have, is this investment tax exempted?
Yes, it is, but you have to be registered with MBAN. Yeah, with the Malaysian Business Angel Network, because then I think for paperwork and for LHDN to be able to monitor the amount that is invested, so MBAN has been entrusted to do that role.
I see. Okay. How many years has Fundnel been in operation? Was one of the questions as well.
Okay, so we started in end 2019, and then to date we have helped I think over 17 companies, and then raised 30 million.
What is the expected returns for investment in ECF in general?
Okay, we wouldn't have the expected percentage like how you would have with other asset class, because we are looking at investing in a company that would help them grow, and then eventually the exit strategy is usually being buy out by a bigger VC or them going to IPO. So when there is an exit over there, the investors from the ECF platform would be given the first choice to exit.
So usually if one is to start investing through Fundnel, what is the minimum deposit? What's the minimum amount that they can invest in?
Yeah, it depends on the startup strategy actually. So let's say, for example, I mentioned earlier about the retail investment, retail investors not being able to invest more than 5,000 ringgit. So if the company wants only a higher ticket where they want to take only 10,000 So they would have missed out the big group of retail investors and only looking at the angel investors and sophisticated investors, right? So it depends on the strategy of the startup. Let's say, for example, like the emissary capital, where my colleague shared that is going to happen today at 3 o'clock. Their minimum investment amount is 10,000 ringgit because you are actually investing in a bigger VC fund that is backed by Penjana, right? So it depends on the company and the deals.
All right. We still have a few more questions. Is there a Sharia compliant investment? I believe you said that it can be arranged if they reach out to Fundnel directly, right? So,
yes, correct.
Yeah, so participants, if you're interested in some Sharia compliant investments with Fundnel, feel free to contact them. So in terms of withdrawal, for investors to withdraw their investment, can it be withdrawn at any time?
No, because it is locked down to the progress of the startup. It is not like unit trust, for example, when you put in and then you log in a year and then you withdraw or redeem, you know, but in equity crowdfunding investments, you are not allowed to do that, or you can't do that easily unless you can find a mutual buyer. So it's a buyer-seller arrangement. So it's pretty much like where you invest in VC, you know, they look at long-term, 5 to 7 years, yeah, before they can see the returns.
Okay. How does the first choice of exit work? Are the owners barred from selling?
Okay. Ila, can you help me? What?
Okay. Maybe Cynthia, who has written your question, maybe you can try to rephrase your sentence in the chat. There's also another question. Is there a cooling off period for investors when they first invest?
Yes, there is a 6-day cooling off period. So what happened is that when the campaign goes live, you can pledge your amount, and then if you're happy, you can invest and you transfer money to the trustee account, like I mentioned earlier. But then once the campaign closed, you have 6 days to change your mind. And anytime you just let the team know, and then we will start the process and you get your money back.
Okay, so I mean, looking back at one of the questions, the initial question asked earlier, maybe this is my understanding of the question. Possibly they're just asking, like, say a project has already been put up on Fundnel's platform, and then investors have already started investing in it, but then say the project didn't take off, or I don't know, whoever has put up the project, are the owner of that project, are they allowed to just take out the project from the platforms, or?
Oh, okay. So yes. So for example, if the campaign, you will see when you go to the platform, you will say campaign end on a certain date, right? So today is the 7th of April. Let's say we see one that says campaign ends on the 30th of April. But if the project cannot go on, the investors will tell us that, you know, we're really sorry, we cannot proceed with the campaign, we want to close the campaign. Then we will close the campaign, immediately update the investors, and then refund all the money.
Okay, Cynthia, I hope that answers your question. Well, the person did update a bit. She said, I heard earlier just now that ECF investors have first choice of exit.
Oh, I see. Okay. So what happened is, like, let's say after you invest, and then 1 year down the road, a VC wants to buy up the company's majority share, right? Then they will then tell the ECF investors that, you know, you guys have the first choice to exit, whereby the VC will pay you what you have invested, and then looking at the valuation and see how much more that you will earn from there. Or you can say that, no, thank you, I want to maintain as an investor for this startup. And then you ride the journey with them until they reach IPO. I hope that clarifies.
I hope that clarifies for you, Cynthia. Okay, so I think that's all the questions that we have on the Slido. For participants, do feel free to have the questions in the Zoom chat as we move on to the next session of the quiz now. Thank you everyone once again for joining us, and thank you Karen for speaking in our webinar today. Don't forget, if you wish to watch this webinar again, we will upload the webinar on our YouTube channel in due course. You may wish to check out our previous webinar sessions on our YouTube channel as well. Stay tuned to our social media platform as we update on our next webinar sessions. Don't forget to follow any of our social media platforms for up-to-date information on our events and basic information on how to be a smart investor. So before we end this session, just a quick reminder to all, beware of investment schemes offered via social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and even on Telegram. If, like Karen said, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Always check the SC's investor alert list before investing. If you are unsure, do not hesitate to contact the SC via phone or email. We will share our contact number and our email address. So once again, thank you all. Thank you again, Karen. Hope to see everyone again at our next webinar. Stay safe and thank you.